Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Where we stop in the morning class? So I gave in the morning class, I gave you the different processes: constant pressure, constant volume, and isothermal, that is constant temperature process, and the how to calculate in work in that, right? Say for example, we will take one example of constant pressure process, then we'll go to next topic. Say it is given that it is a constant pressure process and say constant pressure process. The mass is given as 10 kilogram. Mass of the water it is. The initial pressure is 400 kilopascal, or we can say 0.4 megapascal. Am I right? Initial temperature is 150 degrees Celsius and final temperature is 200 degrees Celsius. Only this much information is given. We need to find out the boundary work. Okay, so this is given for water. Mass is 10 kilogram. P1 is this, T1 is this. Now, can you tell me what is the state of the first state? What condition it is? We know that from the previous chapter, we know we have 5 states, right? If I draw a TV diagram, then
Isobaric.
no, I mean we have 5 states, right? Liquid, subcooled, we have subcooled, saturated, then liquid plus vapor, then saturated, superheated. 3, 4, and 5. So how do you know that which condition it is, which state it is? For that, what we need to do, for a given pressure, we need to check the temperature. I have given you table. For a given pressure, you check the temperature. Or some properties are given, you need to check the given property for given pressure, temperature, then compare it. Like for example, if specific volume is given, then you need to check. In general, what I give the formula, Y more than YF is less than YG. This will give the condition that it is liquid plus fuel, right? If Y is less than YF, then it is subcooled. Y is equal to YF, saturated. Y more than YG, it is superheated. Right? Y equals to YG, it is saturated vapor. Like that, I gave the condition. Where Y can be U, V, and then H, or S, entropy. It can be any value. For a given pressure and temperature, you need to check this. So depending upon these 5 conditions, we can have 5. For first, this one is first. This is second point. This is third point. This one is fourth. This one is fifth point. You can write in sequence in your notes if possible. Okay. But if temperature is given, instead of UVHS, if instead of UVHS, only temperature and pressure is given, then how to check that? If T is less than T saturated for a given pressure, then it is condition 1. Okay, if T is more than T saturated for a given pressure, then it is condition 5. For a given pressure, if it is like this, then it is subcooled or superheated. If it is equal, it can be 2, 3, or 4. If T is equal to T saturated, it can have any bit, because if you see this 2, 3, 4 on same temperature. Am I right? Similarly, for pressure, you just opposite change the sign. For a given temperature, if your pressure is, this pressure is more than P saturated, then it is 1. If temperature is less than T saturated, then 5. Equal 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's see. For this, please go to pressure of 400 kilopascal in the thermodynamic table, property table, and check how much is the temperature given for T saturation.
Doctor, can you move the board to back?
Is that clear?
Yes, yes, thank you. No, the previous position.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You can take a screenshot because I need to erase this. This is not related to directly this problem, but I need to, this may be related because of given pressure, you need to check temperature. This can be, you can use for any other question, but for this question, it is given a pressure and temperature. So for a pressure, we need to check how much is the temperature given here, 150. Now we need to check T saturation from the table. So which table you will look? This is water. What is the table number of water?
A5.
Okay, A5 or A4. So one is for pressure and one is for temperature. The leftmost column is, you need to check whether it is temperature or pressure.
Doctor, which table? The one you sent previous time?
Yes. In the previous chapter, I sent you one thermodynamic property sheet table.
The pressure in the table only until 200. Or I'm right or not?
No. Can I erase this?
Yes.
Okay. Please check the table. So for P column, you need to see the 400 kilopascal. Okay,
Yeah.
and then you will see the T, V, okay, etc. So if you see the pressure, the temperature there is
143.61.
yes, exactly. So is this A4 or A5?
This is A5
A5, because A4 is
for temperature.
for temperature. A5 is for pressure. Now T saturation is given 143.61. Now T and T saturation, compare them. T is given 150 T saturation is 143.61. So which one is more? So for a given pressure, T is more than T saturation. That means it is which state?
Superheated.
Superheated state. That is state 5.
Yes.
Superheated state. Okay. Now when it is superheated, we need to go to the superheated table. That is A6. Okay. Superheated steam. So go to table A6. And for this pressure, 400 kilopascal. 400 kilopascal will not be there. It is written in megapascal. So 0.4 megapascal. So for 0.4 megapascal, 150 degrees Celsius, how much is the specific volume? And then for 200, how much is the specific volume? Because we have given T1 and T2. See, the temperature is increasing, so it will be remain superheated, right? So like it is
Yes.
going from this place to this place, say for example. Yes, specific volume is the first column is for the temperature, then second column is for specific volume.
0.47088.
0.47
088.
088. This is meter cube per kg. And this one is 0. Now volume will increase, right?
Yes, 0.534.
5343.
No, 53434.
Yes, 53434. Once you know that it is superheated, specific volume we have. What is the formula to calculate the work? For this is constant pressure process, right? Can I erase the above data?
Yes.
I can also draw the PV diagram for this. If I draw a PV diagram, so P is constant, volume, specific volume is increasing. So this is 0.47088 and this is 0.53434. This is 1, 2. This is V1, V2. P is same. Now the work is, I have written two equations if you remember. It is the P D V or delta V, that is P V2 minus V1, or M into P into V2 minus V1, because M into V is same, V2. M is given 10 kilogram, pressure is 400 kilopascal given, right? So 400 into 10 raised to 3 into V2 minus V1. V2 is 0.53434 minus 0.47088. So how much is the work coming in this case?
253,840.
253,840.
Yes.
Okay. This is in joules. Okay. If you want, you can put a dot here and can write kilojoule.
Yes.
253.84. So this is 253.84 kilojoule. Am I right?
Yes.
So like that, you can calculate the boundary work.
Doctor,
Yes.
this is it's all a review about chapter 5, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Chapter 5 means which chapter? You were present in the morning class.
Yes, of course.
So we started new chapter, right?
Yes, chapter 6.
So it is chapter 6 only, but it is in that we have a question which is related to the previous understanding,
Okay, no problem.
because today only we studied about the work, right?
Right,
Okay.
doctor.
This is related to this chapter, the new chapter, not for the previous. Okay. In that only we need to find the properties or change in properties. Here it is to calculate the work. Can I erase this now?
Yes.
So this was the boundary work. Now we have, say, flow work. Or flow energy. This is also called as flow energy or flow or transport energy. Now what is flow work? Flow work means, say, so you have a system like this. Okay, this is the control volume. So mass is coming in and out. This is the open system, right? So we need some, see, when it is exchanging with the boundary, then it is called as boundary work. B, boundary work. But what now I'm explaining is the flow work. Flow work means some mass is coming in and going out, right? So we need some work to push this mass inside and to get mass out. Okay, some mass is coming in, so there will be some energy, right, required to push the mass inside. So automatically it will not come, right? Because if for say, for example, the levels are same, pressure same, then velocity is same, because of that it will not come. If it is, there is difference, okay, then it will come inside. And what is the main difference? It is the pressure into volume, P into V. This product actually is called as the flow work, P into V. This product, pressure into volume, is required to push the mass inside or push the mass outside. Again, same formula. So flow work is equal to force into displacement and force is pressure into area. Area into displacement is volume. So P will into V. So if you write P1 V1, then it is the inlet. P2 V2, then is outlet. Okay. So here it is not because of the process P into V, but it is different at the different location. At inlet and at outlet it will be different, because outlet pressure is different, then that energy will be different, or work will be different. Here, if mass is coming at say high pressure, then high flow work. If it is coming at low pressure, it is going at low pressure, then at low pressure it is going, that means low work is done. Okay. So PV is called as the flow work. Okay. Here you can also write in terms of specific volume, or you can write in terms of volume. Both are correct. Because if you write specific volume, it will be specific work. Capital W and say small w will be P into V. Now we'll talk about the total energy. Yes, Amar, do you have any question?
No, thank you, Doctor.
Okay. So we have discussed the two types of work. One is the boundary work, and now second is the flow work. Okay. The total energy in the first chapter of thermodynamics we studied is E equals to U plus V square by 2 plus GZ. Am I right? This is for a system in which the flow is like non-flowing fluids or non-flowing system. If there is a flowing system, that is inlet and outlets, okay, because the pressure is now changing, okay. So in that case, what we can write? Total energy. Now instead of E, I'm writing theta for total energy, and it will be PV plus V square by 2 plus GZ. Okay, sorry, I missed U as well, plus U plus U plus V square by 2 plus GZ. This is when we have the flowing system, or we can say open system. This is closed system. This is open system. So it has now total energy is equal to flow energy plus internal energy plus kinetic energy plus potential energy. If this is open, if it is closed, we don't have anything which is coming or going out, right? So we don't have this flow work. If it is open, then that means some flow work is required to push in and push out. That is P into V. But in the previous chapter, we defined this. Do you know what is this? U plus PV. Yes, anyone? All the chapter was dependent on this equation. In the previous chapter, U plus PV. Yes, anyone remember? Or you are not doing the revision? This is called as H, that is enthalpy. I gave the equation that H is equal to U plus PV, where H is the total heat content. That is the internal plus flow. Total heat content, where U is the internal energy, V is the specific volume, P is the pressure, and then H is enthalpy. So in the, if I write, instead of this, if I write H, then it will become, theta will become H plus V square by 2 plus GZ. This is the total heat content of the body, plus this is heat, okay, plus kinetic energy plus potential energy. This is, remember, this is for flow. If it is non-flow work, then H will become equal to U. If flow work, H will become U plus PV. You can say flow work, PV is 0, so it will be U only. If it is flowing work, or that means open system, coming in, coming out, so H will be equal to U plus PV. Please write down this or take screenshot. You can say this as non-flowing means closed system, or this is also, we can call it as open system, or the flow work, non-flow work, non-flow equations, and flowing equations. Okay, can I erase this now?
Yes, I think.
Okay. Now using these equations, we will define the first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics, or simply you can also call it as first law. First law means first law of thermodynamics. And it says that Q minus W is equal to delta U or delta E. That is the total energy. So if I apply this to closed system, then it will become Q minus W is equal to U, that is delta U, plus delta KE plus delta PE. If the system is stationary, then what will happen? It will become equal to delta U. This is for stationary system. Stationary means not moving. Okay, so kinetic energy will become 0, and potential energy, because it is at one location only, delta G and delta Z will be, dz will be 0. So for stationary system, we have Q minus W equals to delta U. See, all the energy all the internal energy of a system can be in two form only. What is that form? One is the heat and the another one is work. So the difference between heat and work is the internal energy, or heat is equal to internal energy plus work. What you can say, heat equals to delta U plus work. Before this, I gave the example of this equation already, that one is the internal and this one is like work. So whatever we eat, we get some energy in the form of heat. So our body is producing the, having the combustion and producing the heat, that is the energy to keep us active. And using this energy, what we are doing, if we are doing, say, out of this 100, if we work and remove the 60% calories or 60%, then how much is stored in your body? About 40. Okay, so this is the internal energy. Remember, internal energy is a function of temperature. Function of temperature. If temperature changes, then only internal energy changes. Rest is work. Work, you know, if you are doing the exercise or anything, that is the work. So this is the simple and the famous equation for the first law of thermodynamics. Q minus W equals to delta U, or Q equals to delta U plus W. Or if you have a flow work, then what will happen? Then equation will change. So if you have so this is the inlet, this is outlet. So m dot 1, m dot 2. You can say H1, V1, Z1, and it said, say we have H2, V2, Z2. Okay. So first of all, for the flow, so in this, we have this is the control system. The mass is coming, or the heat is coming in and going out. So this is the open system, or you can say flow work is there. First of all, conservation of mass. Conservation of mass or mass conservation. What is the mass conservation means? Whatever is going inside will come outside, right? If you have two inlets, then sum of the two will be the outlet. So you can write that summation of mass of inlet is equal to summation of mass at outlet. In general, you can write this. Whatever is the masses coming in is equal to, say, if you have more than two outlets. Okay, I will give an example that if you have multiple inlets and say multiple outlets, so summation of 1, 2, 3 will be equal to summation of 4 and 5. Am I right?
Yes.
This is the conservation of mass. But in this equation, in this case, we have only one inlet, one outlet as shown here. So you can write m dot 1 equals to m dot 2. What is m dot? Mass flow rate, right?
Yes.
And what is the equation for this? rho 1, A1, B1. Remember in fluid dynamics, we studied this fluid mechanics.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So rho 1, A1, V1 equals to rho 2, A2, V2. But in fluids, especially in liquids, what we said, in liquids density is constant because it is incompressible. So density is constant. So A1, V1 equals to A2, V2. Continuity equation we say. But here it is mostly in thermodynamics, because of the temperature, density also changes, whether it is liquid or not, whether it is liquid or whether it is gas, because of the temperature, the density can change. So rho 1 A1 V1 equals to rho 2 A2 V2. This is the mass conservation equation. Now similarly, if we write conservation of energy or energy, when we write energy conservation, actually first law of thermodynamics is related to the energy conservation only. That heat can change its form, energy can change its form, but the total remains same. The total is going to remain same. That is the mantra or the basic concept of first law of thermodynamics, that energy can be converted into the work or it remains as internal energy. Now, in this case, say I have W1 and Q1. Similarly, I have W2 and Q2. Say W1, I'm showing outside. W2, sorry, W2. Okay, in the morning class, I told you that heat addition means it is positive, right? Work out is positive. So I'm showing positive values. Depending upon this, depending upon the situation, some of them will be zero. So you can change the equation. But when I'm writing the equation, I'm writing the generalized equation, very general equation. So what is the total energy available at the inlet? So we can write Q1 dot plus W1 dot. So this is the heat and this is work plus what is the total energy? Flow work, in flow problems, we have H plus V square by 2 plus GZ. Am I right? So you can write this as 1, 1, 1, which will be equal to Q2 dot plus W dot plus M dot 2 H2 plus V2 square by 2 plus GZ2.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes.
Can I?
Yes, yes.
The letter W, it's present work, right?
Yes.
So how two works in one area?
That I'm saying.
Like work one and work two. Like how two works in the same area or in the same volume?
Yes, actually, what I said, I am writing this equation as general equation. One of the condition will be that heat is coming in or heat is going out. One of them will be there, or heat is coming in or heat will be going out. One of them will be there. So I'm just, in general, I'm writing this, that this is all at the inlet, this is all at the outlet.
Okay, and the total energy is going to present just one work, right?
Yes, of course, only one work will be there. Sometimes there will be no work, just flow will be there. Okay, there may be
Okay,
some
okay.
heat addition or rejection, work in, work out. Okay, any possibility is there. So I have written all the possibilities.
Okay.
Now, depending upon the system, for example, if you have a blower, if you have a fan, if you have a compressor, if you have just a pipe flow, so depending upon that, you will write that what you want from the system or what the work is the system is doing, and based on that you will cancel. There may be no W1, W2, there may be no Q1, Q2. Okay, depending upon the your question.
Okay, now it's clear. Thank you.
So this is general equation. Now, can I erase this?
Yes.
So instead of writing 1 and 2, okay, what we can write, that Q1 minus Q2 or W2. See, 1 is usually mostly inlets, okay, and W2 are usually the outlets. Okay, so by considering that, is without giving the number, because this is not at 1 and 2. Okay, so in general we can write Q minus W, Q dot minus W dot, Q dot minus W dot. Okay, now instead of writing 2 times, we can write Q dot and W dot. Okay, because this heat and work is not just at the inlet, but it is at any boundary, considering all boundary. Okay, it will be equal to, so say Q1 minus Q2 is Q, again W1 minus W2 is W, or W2 minus W1 is W. So we have Q dot minus W dot is equal to total energy. Remember, first law of thermodynamics, Q minus W is equal to total energy. What is the total energy now? Outlet minus inlet. Now, M1 dot is equal to M2 dot, right? So we can
Yes.
write this just as M dot.
Common
can-
factor.
Common. M dot, M1 dot, M2 dot common. So what is remaining now? H2 minus
H.
H1 plus V2 square minus V1 square by 2 plus G Z2
Z2.
minus Z1.
Yes.
So this is the very general equation for first law of thermodynamics for flow problems or flow system. You can also write this like this: Q minus W equals to M. Instead of M dot, you can also write H2 minus H1 plus V2 square minus V1 square divided by 2 plus G Z2 minus Z1 without dots. This dot means it is rate per unit time. Okay, you can write total as well if you want, without time derivative. You can call this as steady flow. This is unsteady and this is like steady, not changing with time.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes.
If H2 minus H1 become minus.
Minus.
So yes, H2 minus H1 become
Is minus.
minus. Okay,
Yes.
it's equal minus a number. Okay, like let's say minus k.
Okay.
So f square 2 minus f square 1 will become minus 2 or not.
What is F?
Sorry, V.
No. See, this, if this complete is also becoming negative, no problem. Only thing is that, see, if W, say, if you are calculating W is coming, say, some positive value, then what is the meaning? If positive means, if positive, say 253.84 something is coming kilowatt, like we just got. What is positive means? Work is coming positive. That means
Mean-
work is produced by the system. If it is coming negative value, that means work is required. This is here, it is producing. If it is coming, okay. Work done by the system, work done required by the system.
Okay, doctor.
Okay. So
Okay.
we'll see when we'll get the values. Like heat, Q is coming positive, then what is the meaning Q is positive? Heat is supplied to the system. If this value is coming negative, considering all these values, if this value is coming negative, what is the meaning? Heat is rejected from the system. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
So please remember these equations. These are very important equations. Can I erase this now? Written completely?
Yes.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. We can apply this equation to different applications, but we will do it slightly later. We will again go back to the types of processes. Okay. So we have, say, T is equal to C, P equals to C, V equals to C, and Q is equal to 0. 4 processes. Okay. Before that, the thermodynamic process, we told that it can be have go from one state to another state. So this going from one state to the second state is called as thermodynamic process. Just a point is state, 2 points. If you add with a particular path, then it will become a process. Now, if I say this is temperature and say this is entropy, what is happening here? 1 to 2, heating is done, right? Because temperature is increasing and entropy also increasing. So temperature is increasing. Now, if you cool this from 1 to 2, you heat it. If you cool it, if it comes back again to 1 from the same path, then the process is called as reversible. It is called as reversible, like elastic material. So in case of thermodynamics, for example, if you heat water and if you cool it, if the same water, same amount, and it is coming to the same temperature with same process, I mean the same path, then we can call it as a reversible process. Some processes, okay, if it is not coming to the original position or not by the original path, then we call it irreversible. Say for example, if you are going from 1 to 2, but it is not coming back, then it is now or 3, then this is irreversible process. Are you getting this reversible, irreversible process? Some process like mixing is, you can add milk, tea and sugar, but you cannot separate them, right? Can you bring back by any process? Can you bring milk, sugar and tea return?
No, doctor.
Okay, so it is like irreversible process. So
Okay.
in thermodynamics, mixing is usually the irreversible process, but some processes, ideally we consider them as reversible. Ideally, like for example, compressing and decompressing, like filling the air, okay, and remove the air from the tire, for example. So you can bring the back to the same position. So some processes are reversible, and ideally we can consider some process as reversible. But irreversibility is phenomena. Irreversibility due to friction, due to heat loss. Say for example, if you are heating water, some water may become vapor and go out of the system, right? Now we cannot bring them back to again system, right? So mass is gone. So some irreversibility will be there all the time. That is in the real processes, but we are considering the reversible process. If heat transfer is 0 and that process is reversible as well, that we call it isentropic process, constant entropy. What is the meaning? You can write S is equal to 0 as well. When S will become 0, S is equal to constant. When it will become, when it is Q is equal to 0 and reversible as well. When it is reversible and heat transfer is also 0, then it is called as entropy is 0. Change in entropy is 0. That is, entropy is constant. So now we have these 4 processes. First of all, we will name them. What is this process called as? Now it is just fast because you know this. Yes. ISO, constant temperature. Temperature is constant. C means constant.
Thermo, isothermal,
Isothermal.
thermal, sorry.
ISO,
Barometric.
Barometric,
isobaric.
Eric,
Yes. This is isochoric or isometric or isovolumetric or constant volume process. This is adiabatic. If only Q is 0, then we call it adiabatic. If it is reversible as well, Q is 0 as well as reversible, that is reversible and adiabatic, then it is called as isentropic. Then it is called as isentropic. Okay. In ideal gas, we have seen PV raised to N is equal to constant. And this value of N for isothermal process is 1. For constant pressure process, it is equal to 0. This is infinity, and here it is value of gamma. That means for isentropic, PV raised to gamma is constant. What is gamma? Gamma or K is the ratio of Cp to Cv. specific heat at constant pressure and specific heat at constant volume. In the previous class, so gamma is, you can also write K Cp by Cv. Do you remember? I told you gave this value as 1005 and this value as 718. So gamma for air becomes 1.4. For aerospace engineering students, these values are very important. You need to remember these values. So N is 1, 0, infinity or gamma.
Doctor, when Q equals 0, what do we call it?
Adiabatic.
And
If it is reversible as well, that means there is no friction, it can come back to the original position, then it becomes isentropic. That is, entropy is constant entropy.
constant entropy, okay.
And entropy means disorder, right? Any disorder in a system is entropy.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, what first law says? What first law says based on these processes? So first law equations. Isothermal, so temperature is constant, right? So what will happen? Q will become 0. Isothermal, so Q will become 0. So Q minus W is equal to delta U, right? So minus W will be equal to delta U. In the morning class, I told you heat transfer can be 0 because of the, if the temperatures are equal or if it is perfectly insulated, right? So isothermal means because the temperature is same, so what will happen? Heat will be 0. Oh, sorry, 1 minute. 1 minute. This is the not boundary, isothermal it is. Delta U. Delta U is a function of temperature. So delta U will become 0. This heat is not related to the exchange between the system and surrounding, but it is because of the process 1 to 2. So in that case, delta U will be 0. That means change in internal energy will be 0. So Q minus W is 0. Or Q equals to W. Now for a isobaric process, you can write Q minus W equals to delta U. Now isochoric process, what will happen to the work in this case? Constant volume process. Work is the boundary phenomena. So work will become in constant volume, it will become 0. So what will be this? Q is equal to delta U. Because work is 0 for constant volume process. PdV, dV is not there. Change in volume is 0. So W is 0. Here Q is 0. So in this case, what it will become? Delta U is equal to minus W. So when you apply the first law of thermodynamics, you should know what is the process going on, and based on that, you can just understand these equations. Now, if work is there, how to calculate the work? This is very easy. I gave this in the morning. So it is isothermal. So PV ln of V2 by V1. So you can write this as P1 V1 or P2 V2. Constant pressure, it is P into V2 minus V1. Here it is 0. Isentropic process, I have not given, this is new. P2 V2 minus P1 V1 divided by N minus 1. N is gamma here. Gamma minus 1. Or you can write 1 minus gamma. Change the sign. Gamma is usually 1.4. So you can write gamma minus 1 if you know the what process is going on. Okay. You can make a partition here. If Q is there, then how to calculate Q? So in this, Q is equal to W. So same equation will come. Q is equal to W. So same equation. Here Q minus W is equal to delta U. W is this P V2 minus V1. Then how to get the Q? So to get Q, it will be M CP T2 minus T1. This equation you can use for calculating the Q. And M CV T2 minus T1 and Q is 0 for adiabatic. Then similarly, you want to calculate delta U if it is not 0. Here it is 0. This will be M CV T2 minus T1. This will also be M CV T2 minus T1. And here also it will be M CV T2 minus T1. Because it is a function of temperature, and that to at whatever is the process using the value of CV, you need to calculate. Similarly, delta H is 0. M CP T2 minus T1. M CP T2 minus T1. M CP T2 minus T1. You want to calculate the change in entropy.
The first one is 0.
Why 0?
No change in the temperature.
This last is 0. Adiabatic or the asentropic process means entropy is constant, right? Change in entropy is 0. See, entropy, you are correct, but you are half correct. You are saying that temperature is same, so entropy is same. But you know that the entropy also changes with the volume, right?
Yes.
Pressure, right?
Yes.
So, of course, temperature is constant, but other values are changing.
Yes. Correct.
So it is equal to N into R natural logarithm of V2 by V1. Here it is MCP natural logarithm of T2 by T1. Here MCV natural log of T2 by T1. Now last we will see the relationship between pressure, temperature and velocity. You know the gas equation, pressure, temperature and velocity. Okay. So if you keep the temperature constant, if you increase pressure by keeping the temperature constant, if you increase pressure, what will happen to volume? Volume will decrease. Okay. Or you can write P2 V2 is equal to P1 V1. This is the relation because temperature is constant. So the product of P2 V2 and P pressure and volume will be constants. Here constant pressure. So if you increase temperature, volume will increase. So T2 by T1 is equal to V2 by V1, or V2 by V1 is equal to T2 by T1. Okay. If you increase temperature, volume will increase at constant pressure. Like boiling water, what will happen if you increase temperature? Its volume is increasing. Now, so why we don't have pressure here? Because pressure is constant. Why don't we have temperature here in this term? Because temperature is constant. Now here we don't have the volume because volume is constant. So the relation between pressure and volume will be there. So pressure and temperature, P2 by P1 is equal to T2 by T1. It will be, so as you increase pressure, temperature will increase, or as you increase temperature, pressure will increase. Like in pressure cooker, you keep the volume fixed. If you increase the temperature, pressure will increase. Now in entropy, we don't have temperature, pressure or volume constant. All three are variables. So in that case, we have P2 by P1. This is the most important relationship, is very important. P2 by P1 equals to T2 by T1 to the power gamma divided by gamma minus 1. Similarly, V2 by V1 is equal to T2 by T1 to the power 1 divided by gamma minus 1. I will write it again.
Victor, the last line for what? Changing what?
T what?
The last line.
This one?
The last line, the blue one. Yeah, for changing. Yeah,
This
for what?
the pressure, temperature and PTV relation you can write.
Okay. The relation between
Yes,
parameters.
PV and TS.
Okay.
PVT relation.
Yeah, yeah.
P2 by P1 equals to T2 by T1 to the power gamma divided by gamma minus 1. And V2 by V1 equals to T2 by T1 to the power 1 over gamma minus 1. Please take the screenshot. You have to, before the next class, you have to write this clearly, neatly again. Okay, because this is important. This is like lifelong learning. If you remember this table, this will clarify your mind for almost all processes in thermodynamics. You will need the understanding of these equations till the graduation, even in the masters or even in their future work, if you are going in the technical work.
Doctor, can you move the board to the right? Oh, sorry, to the left.
Can I erase this now?
1 moment, please. Okay.
Let me try to take photo. Now what I'm explaining is not there in the book, so please be careful and try to understand this. Say we'll start with isothermal process. No, we'll start with isobaric process. So for every process, we will draw P, V, and TS diagram. PV and TS diagram. Isobaric process means how should be this on this PV diagram? Yes,
Pressure should be constant.
yes. How the line should be?
Vertical line
Vertical line.
or horizontal.
Vertical means pressure is changing, right?
Yes, horizontal.
So it should be horizontal line. Okay, say 1 to 2 and 3 to 4. What is happening in 1 to 2 and 3 to 4? Can you tell me? Both are constant pressure, right?
Yes.
Say they are equal as well. Don't say that one is short, one is long. Okay. So what is happening in this two? In one first case, pressure is constant, but volume is
Changing.
no, changing is both. It is increasing,
Yes.
right? Volume is increasing in the first 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 it is
Decreasing.
decreasing. Do you agree this? Constant pressure process 1 to 2, volume is increasing. When the volume will increases at constant pressure?
Like
If the
filling,
temperature change,
Yes, temperature change, but how it change? Decreasing or increasing?
increasing.
Increasing, right? See, I gave the example. See, example of ice cream or boiling of water. You take any example. At constant pressure, if you heat, then its volume will increase, right?
Yes.
Now volume is increasing, temperature also increasing. What will happen to the entropy?
Increase also.
Entropy will also increase, right? Because volume is increasing. So expansion, which is increasing, or
Yeah.
temperature is basically increasing the volume. So molecules are going away from each other. So that means more disorder. Most disorder means have you seen popcorn? You might have ate at Cornish popcorn.
Yes.
So when you heat, the molecules will try to go much away from each other. So that is like entropy generation.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can just imagine that molecules of the air will get the same experience, but they cannot tell or we cannot see. So it's you can remember the example of popcorn, that how when we heat, how the volume is increasing and how they are going away from each other. So now, can I draw this entropy? Temperature is increasing 1 to 2 and entropy also increasing, right? So can I draw like this? 1 to 2.
No.
Why?
No, doctor.
Because what is happening here? It should be a straight line or what?
Because it's decreasing.
Yes, very good. So 1 to 2 here, and temperature is increasing, but entropy is decreasing. This is not possible. This is not possible. So how it should be? It should be like this 1 to 2. The temperature is increasing as well as entropy is also increasing. Okay. Remember one formula. A constant line, whether horizontal or vertical, constant line on PV diagram is a curve on TS diagram. Okay. A a constant line on TS diagram is a curved line on the PV diagram. Are you getting my point? Straight line means it is like horizontal or vertical. A straight line on PV diagram is a curve on the TS diagram. A straight line on TS diagram is a curve on PV diagram. Is that clear?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Now
Yes.
we want to do 3 to 4. So we may have 3 to 4 like this. 3 to 4. 3 to 4 cooling. So temperature is decreasing and entropy is also decreasing, right? Disorder is decreasing because cooling means it is bringing back molecules closer. Okay. So this is the isobaric process. For this, pressure is constant, or we can write that T2 by T1 equals to V2 by V1. Okay, and change in entropy delta S is equal to, what is the relation I give for delta S? M Cp ln of T2 by T1. Or you can also write V2 by V1 because T2 by T1 is V2 by V1. Am I right? Okay. Please write down this fast.
Doctor,
Yes.
can you write the relationship between BV and TC, the relationship that you say in a minute, like a straight line, straight line, a line in BV, it's a curve in TS diagram, right?
Yes. Yes. And
That depends also.
TS, the straight line on TS diagram is a curve on PV diagram. See this, ds delta S is natural logarithm. So this is a log curve. If you see here, this is temperature and volume are linear, but here it is logarithm, right? So it is a logarithmic curve. Because of this natural logarithm, it is not a straight line, it is a curve. Okay, please do it fast. Can I erase this now?
Yes, Doctor.
Now second process is say iso choric, okay, or iso constant volume process say. So how it should be? Yes. It should be vertical line, right? 1 to 2. If you see this, V1 and V2 is same. So 1 to 2 and 2 to 1. Sorry, 3 to 4. Okay. Now what is 1 to 2?
Increasing in pressure.
If you have constant volume, when the pressure will increase?
1 to 2.
If
When-
you increase the temperature,
Yes, when you heat it, the pressure will increase. Like the pressure cooker example. If you close it, constant volume, heat it, what will happen? Now volume cannot increase, it is fixed. So pressure inside will increase.
Yes.
So for constant volume, if pressure increasing means it is you are doing the heating. So with heating, what will happen? Entropy.
Entropy will increase also.
Okay. Now you had two contradictions. With increasing pressure, entropy decreases. And with increase in temperature, entropy increases. Are you getting
Yes.
point?
Again, Doctor.
Yes. With pressure, as pressure is increasing, entropy decreases. As temperature is increasing, entropy increases. Here both things are happening. Pressure is also increasing, temperature also increasing. So what will happen to the entropy?
Remain the same, constant.
No.
No, increase.
Okay. If velocity is, if volume is kept constant, okay, if volume is kept constant, then effect of temperature will be dominant. Effect of temperature will be dominant. That's why I give you longer line. Okay. So effect of temperature on entropy will be high if volume is constant. Okay, we see if we increase pressure and temperature in such a way that we can make entropy constant as well, no problem. Change in entropy we can make 0. But if we do it at constant volume, you cannot get constant entropy. For that, you need to change the volume as well. Then it will remain constant. But if you do it at constant volume, then entropy is going to increase. So 1 to 2 is a straight line. So it will be a curve like this. 3 to 4, pressure is decreasing, cooling process. So with decrease in pressure, entropy should have increased, or with cooling, the entropy should have decreased. But in effect, it will decrease. 1 to 2 and 3 to 4. This is volume is constant. T2 by T1 equals to P2 by P1. See, the change is same. If same change in temperature and pressure, see if temperature is increasing by 2 times, pressure is increasing by 2 times. But when it happens that change is same, then effect of temperature is dominant on entropy by nature. So entropy will increase. And delta S is mCV, natural logarithm of T2 by T1. Please write down this. This is not there in the book. Okay. So please focus here, pay attention here, and it is very important. Yes, can I erase this?
Yes.
I hope you have understood this point, right?
Yeah, that's clear.
Clear, inshallah.
Okay, I'm erasing this.
Yes.
Say I have this process 1 to 2 and 1 to 3. How to draw on the TS diagram? Yes. Yes. Can you give me a hint how to draw? Both are straight lines here, right?
Yes.
So it will be like this.
Yeah, from all the three.
1, 2, 3. Now, if you see the slope is different, right? Slope, you know slope, right? This is slope. If it is, this is high slope and this is lower slope, right? If it is
Yeah.
horizontal, no slope. Okay. So which process has lower slope here? Constant volume or constant pressure?
Constant pressure.
Yes. So please write down that a constant pressure process has lower slope than constant volume process. Slope of constant pressure process is less compared to constant volume process. This is the indication that constant volume process is faster. Like cooking in the pressure cooker is faster compared to cooking it openly. Like barbecue take more time. Okay, if you cook it in oven, it may take less time. So 1, 2, 3 is constant pressure and this is constant volume. Constant volume process has higher slope compared to the constant pressure process. Now next process is say isothermal process. Have you understood this? You have completed drawing 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3 and this one.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Now isothermal process. Isothermal process. How should I draw? Yes. From where I should start?
From the right side.
So this will be isothermal, right?
Yes.
Because temperature is same. 1 to 2. Say 3 to 4. Now, can you tell me what is 1 to 2 process? It is isothermal, of course, but what is happening there? You cannot see cooling or heating because we don't have any cooling or heating because temperature is constant. So what is happening here? 1 to 2.
I think, Doctor, the volume is increasing.
Yes, because
the
the
pressure
entropy
is
is
increasing.
increasing. Yes, because entropy is increasing, so you can guess that volume is increasing. So if volume increases, what will happen to pressure?
Decreases.
Decreases, right? So never ever draw like this. Okay. This curve means both are increasing or decreasing, which is wrong. Okay. So they are reverse. So the train will be like this. So 1 to 2, pressure is decreasing, volume is increasing. Is this correct? 1 to 2?
Yes.
Okay. So because the volume is increasing, the entropy is increasing. 3 to 4, it is like this.
Opposite direction.
3 to 4. Now, what we call it, this process, 1 to 2 is called as expansion, and 3 to 4 is called as compression. Are you understanding?
Yes.
Compression. So what we will call it in overall, this is isothermal compression, isothermal expansion. Expansion means volume is increasing. Isothermal compression means volume is decreasing or pressure is increasing. Okay, we don't have heating cooling. Before 2 examples, constant pressure heating, constant volume heating was there, right? But here now, constant temperature expansion or constant temperature compression. Temperature is constant. So what is the relation between the velocity and so V2 by V1 is equal to P2 by P1? Is this correct? It is not correct. Why? Because they are opposite now.
Yes.
So if this is increasing, this will decrease. Okay, they are opposite. What is the delta S relation I gave for this? N into R. There are other relation as well you can find in the book. V2 by V1.
Doctor, now the log go into BV, not TS, right?
What?
The natural log graph in the BF, not TS, right? BV.
Yes, is
Okay, so the linear relation in TS.
linear relation in TS.
This linear duration.
Ah, okay. You mean why we have the natural logarithm in the delta S?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I will come to. You can find some other relations as well. This is not only necessarily that it is the natural logarithm. See, this is also changing. V is a function of, so you can say this may become like the function of anti-logarithm. V may be like anti-log. Anti-log and log may become like linear, constant. Are you getting the point? V2 is changing with pressure as a logarithm, you can say. When you write this, you will come to that. Okay, I will explain this. I got your point that why when we have the logarithm in the equation, why it is a straight line.
Yes,
Right?
yes, that's my point. Yes.
Okay, I will explain that. Don't worry. Okay, but I don't have that equation as of now to explain that. Maybe in the next class, inshallah. Okay, so this is the isothermal process. Now let's see the last process, that is, what is the last process? Isentropic process.
Invisible.
So if it is isentropic, it is compulsorily adiabatic. Remember this. If it is isentropic means, for isentropic, we have two conditions. One is that it should be adiabatic. And what is the second condition? It should be reversible as well.
Okay.
So if it is isentropic, then that means it is compulsorily adiabatic, because it is satisfying both conditions, adiabatic as well as reversible. But if it is adiabatic only, then we are not sure whether it is isentropic or not,
Okay.
because it may be reversible or reversible. So if it is adiabatic but irreversible, then it is not isentropic. So isentropic is always adiabatic process. Now, how should I draw isentropic? Constant entropy, right? Vertical lines 1 to 2, 3 to 4. Is that clear?
Yes, doctor.
How can I draw PV diagram? Again, it will be like this. Now 1 to 2. Which one is 1 to 2 here?
The first graph.
Okay.
Now is the second one. The
Now
second,
first understand what is happening. 1 to 2, temperature is increasing,
right.
but
So the first,
entropy is constant. See this. Temperature is increasing, but entropy is constant here, because we know that entropy increases with temperature increases, right? So we need something to decrease the velocity entropy with same value. So that means what we need to do?
Increase
Increase the pressure.
the pressure.
We need to increase pressure, but with a larger value, right? Then only their entropy change will be equal, and that will become, S will become, delta S will become 0. Only when we have a large change in pressure compared to temperature, then the change in entropy will be same for, will give the same effect, because of the temperature and pressure, they will be equally increase and decrease, so it will become 0. So 1 to 2, yes, 1 to 2 is which one? This one is compression, this one is expansion. So what do you call compression? 1 to 2 compression? Isentropic compression process. What is 3 to 4? Isentropic expansion. Are you getting this point? Isentropic compression and isentropic expansion. Now PV raised to gamma is equal to C. Okay, or P, you can write PV capital V also, doesn't matter. Okay, so in this case, I gave you this P2 by P1 is equal to T2 by T1 to the power gamma divided by gamma minus 1. Similarly, V2 by V1 I gave V2 by V1 equals to T2 by T1 to the power 1 divided by gamma minus 1. Now similarly, if we want P2 V2, how will you get?
Repeat, please.
If you want P2 and V2 relation, P2 by P1 is equal to V2 by V1. what will be the power?
Gamma over
Gamma.
1 minus gamma.
See, what is T2 by T1? It is equal to P2 by P1 to the power gamma minus 1. Yes, gamma
Yes.
minus 1 over gamma.
Yes.
And what is V2 by V1? T2 by T1 is equal to what? Gamma minus 1.
Doctor, why you opposite the power?
If I
V2.
take T2 by T1 is equal to what? V2 by V1 to the power. See, if the power is 1 by 2, if you take this side, it will become square, right? Or you can say multiply both sides with 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
reciprocal basically.
Okay.
So what will happen in this case?
1 over rho.
So P2 by P1 is equal to V2 by V1 to the power gamma minus 1 is there. So if I multiply with gamma divided by gamma minus 1, then it will get cancelled both sides. Because this will become 1. When it will become 1? If I multiply with gamma divided by gamma minus 1 both sides, right?
Yes.
So this has become 1. Here gamma minus 1 will cancel. Only power will come gamma. Okay, so P2 by P1. You can work yourself this one. P2 by P1 is equal to V2 by V1 to the power gamma. One mistake. This is V1 by V2 because these are opposite, V1 by V2. So this is V1 by V2. See, we know the temperature and volume are opposite. If temperature increases, no, 1 minute. Yeah, but this equation is correct. With temperature increases, volume also increases, but that power is gamma minus 1. So this is correct. These equations are correct. They are directly, but this power will become gamma minus 1. Just write down this equation. These equations are correct. Pressure and volume are opposite. Pressure and temperature are direct. Similarly, volume and temperature is direct, but the power will change. It will become like gamma minus 1. So this is isentropic process. Can I erase this?
Yes.
Just
Yes.
last one bit is remaining. So what is this process? This is constant pressure. This is constant volume, right? This is T equals to C. This is P is equal to C. This is B equals to C. And this is S is equal to C. So S is equal to C has higher slope compared to the isothermal process. If I have like this, so I will get two curves here, right? One is for isothermal, one for isentropic process. So isentropic will have higher slope compared to the isothermal. Okay. Now similarly, what we can draw for this constant pressure will have a lower slope. This will have a what is this process? This process T is equal to C. This is P equals to C. This is V equals to C, and this is S is equal to C. Am I right? Constant volume process. This has 90 degree. Constant pressure 0 degree. Then we have constant temperature. Then we have constant entropy. This line is constant temperature, constant pressure, constant volume, and constant entropy. So with this, we'll stop here. Inshallah, in the next class, we will apply the first law of thermodynamics and these processes to different components. Components like nozzle, compressor, turbines. Okay. These are the basic fans, blowers. Okay. Various systems like piston engine. So when we apply these equation to the first law equation to these processes, we can understand how the thermodynamic system is working. Okay.
Okay.
Doctor, can I ask you something?
Yes.
Can you extend the deadline of assignments?
See, if you extend, I don't have any problem, but you will have problems because next week is last week, right?
For teaching, yes.
Yes. So for other courses, you will have so many assignments, etc. So if you try to cover it as early as possible, try to submit, then it will be easy for you. Otherwise, in the next week, also there is going to another assignment for this chapter, then will be another assignment. So I don't want to pile up one time. So if you do it early, then that is better.
Yes, that's correct. Okay.
Also, Doctor, I would like to ask you something.
Yes, yes.
Doctor, we need your notes of chapter 5 and chapter 6.
No, I told you.
Because your note is very clear and very helpful for us, like chapter 1 to 4.
Yes, Doctor. Your notes and your explanation is very useful.
Yeah, doctor, please.
I'm teaching from the book itself. I'm not teaching separately. Only these
Doctor,
things are.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
book
doctor, but
is huge, Doctor.
yeah,
It's a lot of information.
Yes, I
please,
agree
doctor,
with
if you
that.
can, please.
Just the last two chapters. The last two chapters. So a little help for you will help us a lot.
Yeah, doctor, please. If you can, doctor.
What I told you, whenever I'm teaching, you just mark in the book what I'm teaching, and whatever I'm skipping, you can mark that it is not there. Okay. Anyways, I will try myself best to compile it and send to you. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Doctor, thank you so much.
And do you have any dates for quiz 3, 4? Quiz 3 is done, right?
Yes.
Yes.
4, 5.
Quiz 4, 5, not yet.
When
do
you
it.
want.
When?
When
We can
discussing
discuss in the group. We can discuss in the group.
yes.
Okay, discuss and then decide. And so also discuss that whether we can have, see, it should not be on the class time, and if possible 4 and 5 together.
We will
Okay.
try, Doctor. We will see.
Okay, then you can leave, inshallah. See you on Thursday morning.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We appreciate all of your work.
Amen.